Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The United States of America stopped all military aid to Ukraine and stopped sharing intelligence with Ukraine. This has been confirmed by the CIA and by the Prime Minister of Poland, Tusk, who is a weasel, by the way. Not only that, but the United States is reconsidering funding Ukraine. That is, will we ever fund Ukraine? And the last topic, the United States of America and Russia reached a deal, made a deal on Iran talks. What does that have to do with Ukraine? Well, it has to do, the big dogs are getting together, or at least seemingly. Maybe they make order on this planet, clean up some shit. All right, let's start with the first article. And the first topic, coming from Russia Today. This is from the 5th of March 2025. Poland confirms United States has suspended military aid to Ukraine. Zelensky wanted to know if that's true or not, and this guy said, you know what, bye-bye. You're going to do what we tell you anyway. We don't have to let you know anything. You just take it. American weapons have stopped moving across the border. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has said. Very interesting how fast the order was completed, followed. The United States has suspended military assistance to Ukraine, including the delivery of weapons that were already in shipment. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk has told journalists. So when the thug decided to insult our president said, yeah, do you think I'm kidding? You have no cards. Earlier, the move was reported by several US media outlets. And I'm quoting, today, a decision was announced to suspend American aid for Ukraine. Tusk told reporters ahead of a government meeting on Tuesday. Washington has not made any official announcement on the issue. And I'm quoting, they don't have to. They don't owe Zelensky Stein any justification so far. Reports that are coming from the border from our hub in Jasionka have confirmed the announcement of the American side. The Polish Prime Minister stated, located in the southeastern Poland, Jasionka airport has been transformed into a major supply and transport hub for Ukraine-bound Western military aid. Do we find Jasionka? Let's see. No, I don't think we find Jasionka here. I don't think so. That's an airport, Zamodzika, Pakamaka. Maybe not that close to the border, I'm guessing. Should be somewhere very close. But anyway, I tried just a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Anyway, let's go back. Several US media outlets, including Bloomberg, the New York Times, and CNN, then reported that US President Donald Trump has paused military aid following the falling out with Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky in Washington last Friday. According to the New York Times, the president's order affected more than $1 billion in arms and ammunition in the pipeline and on order. According to Tusk, American weapons which had already reached Poland were not expected to be sent to Ukraine following Trump's decision. The Prime Minister also claimed that the United States' actions suggest the Trump administration could possibly, quote-unquote, start lifting anti-Russian sanctions. Very possible, very possible. Let's look at the next one. Russia Today. United States reconsidering funding Ukraine, the White House. This is 5th of March. President Donald Trump has paused assistance to Kiev to wait for a good faith peace effort, multiple officials have said. There you go, like with a child. Do you want ice cream? If you want ice cream, you gotta clean your room, boy. Washington has paused US aid, she made, this according to Caroline Levitt has said. She made a statement in a press conference on Wednesday when asked by a journalist if the aid freeze was permanent. And I'm quoting, the National Security Council told me they paused or they are reconsidering the funding of Ukraine. It's a pause for a review, she elaborated when asked a second time. Ready? Next one. Again, from today, the 5th of March. Today was that day when Vissarionovich Jugashvili, Joseph Vissarionovich Jugashvili, Stalin for you, the man of steel, died after 2 days of being in a kind of stroke. And who did it? We don't know. Smells like a Zelensky Stein's doctor, but hey, we don't know for sure. Let's move on. CIA confirms suspension. So in 5 of March 1953, Stalin died. So CIA confirms suspension of intelligence sharing with Ukraine. A pause, quote unquote, in cooperation with Kiev is needed to ensure that Zelensky follows orders, is committed to peace, John Ratcliffe has said. Washington has brought all intelligence sharing with Ukraine to a halt. That means these guys cannot launch shit. CIA Director Papapap confirmed to Fox Business on Wednesday, when asked by host Maria Bartiromo whether the U.S. had cut off its cooperation with Ukraine, he said that the U.S. President Donald Trump has asked for a pause to see if Kiev was ready to work towards resolving the conflict with Russia. And I'm quoting, President Trump had a real question whether Zelensky was committed to a peace process, this guy said, claiming that the halt to assistance and information sharing contributed to Zelensky publicly stating that he was ready for peace. So on Tuesday, the Ukrainian leader said that he's Ukrainian as I am Zimbabwean, said that Kiev was ready for an immediate POW release and a temporary ceasefire with a ban on missiles, long-range drones, bomb and energy and other civilian infrastructure. That's bullshit. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Let's discuss this a little bit. How about that? That tells you who's who, what's what. The Europeans can make noise how much they want. The Americans are going to be like the caravan. Keep going and the dogs barking. That's what's going to be. And Zelensky Stein knows that. Zelensky Stein is given, I think, one chance. This is the only chance I think Zelensky gets. If you change, we might be okay with you. If you don't change, you're going to see Moses. All right, let's go to the, and they can. Now let's go to the last article, which comes again from Russia Today. And this is from the 4th of March, 2025. United States and Russia made deal on Iran talks. Can you believe that? Sure. Top Putin aide. President Donald Trump has ramped up sanctions on Tehran, but also shown interest in a deal on its nuclear program. Washington and Moscow decided to hold separate talks centered on Iran during last month's high-level negotiations in Riyadh. Russian President Vladimir Putin's foreign policy aide Yuri Ushakov has said senior U.S. and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia in February in the first major talks between the two superpowers. We got that word back in business. Two superpowers since the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022. And I'm quoting, we discussed the situation around Iran, yes, and we agreed to hold separate talks on this matter, Ushakov told the press on Tuesday. All right, so what do you think will happen? Iran's nuclear program is within international frameworks, agreements, and the Treaty of Non-Proliferation and the International Atomic Energy Agency has all the necessary facilities for monitoring it. Iranian Foreign Minister spokesperson Esmail Bakwai stressed in a press conference on Monday. So the two superpowers decide to clean up act. That is, they will recarve the spheres of influence on this planet. The problem is the Russians will stay with BRICS. The Russians will not let down China or India or Brazil or South Africa or Iran or Venezuela or others of that kind, or the woodchuck in North Korea, because that's part of the leverage that Russia has against the United States of America. That's part of it. That's how Russia, among not being able to be destroyed by these guys in Ukraine, gained respect and was allowed and invited so far at the big boy table. But never know, because sometimes you just, you're here at the table, bong, like was Austin Powers, and goes to whomever where. So, good news. No intelligence, no aid. Zelensky changed course because his little chutzpah reached an end. Remember, Donald Trump worked with them in New York big time, with the bankers and others. So he knows how to deal with them. I mean, he has a son-in-law. So their chutzpah don't work at Mr. Donald Trump. Other things work, like, Bibi Netanyahu and so on. But no, not this one. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.